In this lesson, you will learn how to split a user story. This feature or function is required when you are at the end of a sprint and you identify that you have completed several tasks on a user story but could not complete or deliver all the different tasks. Then to measure the progress, it still makes sense to split the user story into two and continue to work in the next sprint. Let's see how this works in ALMO. We need to go first to the team backlog module. And in the team backlog module, basically I can see here the overall progress of my team on a release level. So I can filter on a specific release, on a specific sprint, even on a specific milestone, and on the team I would like to track. I can go from here to the task areas and identify for me, okay, for this sprint one, I'm working currently in a UI team, and I see here, okay, what are the tasks which are completed, and if it is required, because we have just 2 days left in the sprint, to move several tasks into the next sprint. As you can see here in the example of this user story 7159, I have 3 tasks. One is in progress, one is completed, and one has not been touched yet. And I would like to really measure that some of the work has been completed in sprint 1, but the rest of the work I would like to move into sprint 2. So by default, it is not possible to assign a task to a sprint, and this use case is addressed by splitting a user story. So there are different options to split a user story. Either you go into the retrospective and say, okay, I go here, and in the retrospective, I can see this user story with the 3 tasks I've just shown, and I would like to split it. So you can select the user story and say split story, split user story. And the first user story, you can say, okay, this need to be set to done, including all the different tasks which has been completed. And the second user story, which is a continuation of the first part of the user story in sprint 2. And you can assign now, okay, if the first user story had 3 story points, and let's map it to task. We have 3 tasks, 1 is completed. So this will remain now with 2 story points. And I would say also move the 2 open tasks to the new sprint and link it with the second user story, which I'm going to split into. After doing that, the action is performed, and I can see here now only 1 task is linked to the user story, and it has been completed. So what happened now is, first of all, this user story in the relations of the one which was splitted, you will see that there is a trace from this user story to the continuation, the second one which we have split into. And on that user story, I will find most probably the 2 tasks. One is in progress and the other one is in status new. And under relation, I have the link back to my original user story, which I'm traced to. So I'm tracing from the original user story to this current user story. So this is where it really makes sense to split your user stories at the end of the sprint, or maybe you know it already and you have not designed your user story to be granular. Then you can also make use of the split feature. Other than that, on the retrospective, on each team, you can perform this action.